good, Media Maniacs? This is your boy Media Fiend, and welcome to the very first video in my brand new channel, Media and More. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the new channel. So basically what Media and More is I'm going to give you a little download before we get into the review, because as you can see right behind me, we got a review to talk about today. So basically what Media and More is it's my channel where I can discuss movies, video games, books, TV shows, reviews. I have series that I want to do, like Dumpster Fire Cinema and Urban Legends, Tell Spooky Stories, stuff like that. Stuff surrounding the world of media. It's not just video games like my Media Fiend Gaming channel is. Media Fiend Gaming is for my gaming. It's for my streaming, my live streaming, my gaming. This channel is for the media. This is for you guys, the reviews, the unboxings, the stuff you guys like to see. So, welcome. I hope you guys have a great time. It's the one-stop shop for all things media with your boy Media Fiend. And now, with all the niceties and all that hibbity hoopla out of the way, we're just going to dive right into today's discussion. And as you can see, like I said, behind your boy, we're going to be talking about Superman 2025. James Gunn Superman, if you will. The Guardians of the Galaxy Superman, if you will. So this movie, where do I begin? So I'm just going to go right off the bat and say it. I did enjoy this movie. There's things I didn't like about the movie. There's things I really liked about the movie. And I'm going to hit you guys with a little bit of everything about the movie that I liked, disliked, and I'll let you guys come up with your own decisions on whether you liked it or disliked it. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, you know, yeah. So right off the bat, okay, I want to let y'all know that your boy discusses plot spoilers and light spoilers. I'm not going to go deep into the movie because I'm not the storyteller here, but I'll give you certain situations in the movie where stuff happened that whether I liked or disliked. So with that out of the way, if you haven't seen the movie, pause this, go check it out, come back, let me know what you think. But anything beyond this point of the movie, I mean, at this point of the video, if I ruin it for you, man, at that point it's on you. I wipe my hands clean of it. But anyways, with all that out of the way, the movie starts off, Superman has already gotten his ass kicked. Like, the preview, like when you go to the theaters to watch other movies and they show you the preview of him being basically thrown across the Earth to Antarctica and he hits the ground hard, that's how this movie starts. Superman has already gotten his ass kicked, okay? And he whistles for Krypto, which I liked Krypto, but I feel like Krypto was a little overused at some points. I think they just put him into the scenes because he was cute, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it starts off, Superman's already messed up, okay? And what I don't understand is you go from Henry Cavill Superman, who's only been Superman for a year, okay? And he is the most powerful being. Now they do explain that this is the first fight that Superman has ever lost, okay? But honestly, throughout the movie, they make Superman, and I'm just gonna pardon my French, but they make Superman a little bitch. He's constantly getting beat up. You know, he's constantly being pulled out of the fire by they call them the Justice Gang. And that was kind of like, I'm not a big Superman guy. I'm just going to go on record saying I'm not a big Superman guy. I'm more of a Batman guy. So I really enjoy Batman. But I will say, like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I'm just kind of giving you the cons right now. But don't worry, some pros are coming. Okay, but I'm going to hit you with the stuff I didn't like first. That way, when I hit you with the stuff I did like, you know what I mean? So anyway, like I said, right off the bat, they make it seem like Superman's a little bitch. You know, and he's just tore up from the floor up. I mean, this dude got his ass whooped. You don't see him get his ass whooped, but he got his ass whooped. And then, you know, he goes to the Krypto drags him to the Fortress of Solitude, and the robots in there. Okay, so the robots I kind of liked. They were kind of funny, but they tried to. So there's a scene with the robots, okay, where the main robot number 4 is like, we're not, we no need to thank us. We don't have emotions. But then they introduced another new robot, and the new robot was like, oh my God, he looked at me. Like, well, if you're not, it's kind of counterintuitive, you know what I mean? But that part was pretty cool when they exposed him to the yellow sun, and he kind of like regained his strength. But it doesn't make sense because he was exposed to the sun the whole time. But I guess this was, really exposed, like microscoped under the sun, I guess is what they explained. And he only revived to like 80% power. So maybe that's why he was a little bitch throughout the movie. I don't know. But I like the Justice Gang. Guy Gardner, we'll get into that. I did, however, I really feel like they underutilized Hawkgirl. Isabella Merced is an amazing actress. She's good at almost everything she does, but this particular role for her, I could not stand Hawkgirl Screech. And there was one scene where that's all she did. And I'm like, okay, all right, you can tone that Joan down a little bit. You know what I mean? Tone it down. It's fine. And it seemed like they were friends, but they weren't. It was weird. Like the whole dynamic of this group was weird. Okay. Element Man, he was kind of weird looking too. He basically could make any element he wanted. Lex Luthor used him to really mess up Superman and imprison Superman at one point. Taskmaster, not Taskmaster. I forget the dude's name. Mr. Terrific. He was pretty cool. He was all right. Now, I did not like Lois Lane. I don't know if it was the way she portrayed it, but she did this thing in the movie that I can't stand when women do this. She interviews Clark Kent as Superman, okay, and then she's throwing the horrible questions at him. Basically, it looks like she's turning on him. She's being a typical reporter, and he gets upset, because she's digging at him and digging at him and digging at him, asking him like very meanly, and then he just says, I had enough, and he walks out and he gives the leave. And then she's like, she goes to the kitchen and, she says, oh yeah, typical Clark, you got to walk away. You pretend nothing's wrong, blah, 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 making it like he's in the wrong. And then as he's getting ready to leave, she says this thing that I hate when women say this because it's just a game. She says, well, I had a feeling this wasn't going to work, or I knew this wasn't going to work. Like, come on. Because he's separating himself from the situation and he doesn't stay and fight with you, it's not going to work. I hate when women do that. I hate when women go there. That irritates me. So that kind of triggered me a little bit. But I couldn't stand her. Like I said, there was times where I feel like they used Krypto because he was cute. But he was cute, I will say. I did like Krypto. That big kaiju battle was awesome. Now we're going to get into some of the pros. I gave you some of the cons. We're going to give you some of the pros. Guy Gardner stole the show. In my opinion, Guy Gardner's great dude. He was funny. There was a scene where they were in the Middle East or somewhere, and they were saving this city of people from an invasion. And he's just flicking his wrist with the ring, and it's flipping the tanks and stuff, and middle fingers are coming up. Like, that was hilarious. Guy Gardner was incredible in this movie. I loved Nicholas Hoult in this movie. That man can act. That man is probably going to be like a modern day like Jack Nicholson, dude. This dude is on point. I mean, when I first got introduced to Nicholas Hoult, I was kind of iffy because it was like Warm Bodies or some kind of stupid zombie chick flick. But my man has evolved, and he's almost great in everything he does. And as Lex Luthor, I hated him. I hated the character Lex Luthor, which means he did his job. He was fantastic. I liked the guy who they got to play Superman. I thought he was wholesome. I thought he stood for the values of Superman. I loved his family life with his parents. I thought that was great. I like the cameos in it. You know, they had, well, I'm not going to ruin the one. I do, one of them, John Cena was in it as Peacemaker, but it was just a small cameo. I love the cameos. I love the battle sequences. I love the over-the-shoulder flying sequences. There was a lot of flying in this, and the camera angle goes with it. I thought it was well shot. It was a well-shot movie. One of the big things I held off until now to say, though, it was politically preachy. There are times when it was politically preachy, and here's my thing. I don't like when politics get drug into movies, because this is why. And I'm probably going to get crucified for this, but politics cause separation. Okay? Politics is one of the biggest causes of separation out there. Okay? Movies, cinema, this form of art is supposed to bring people together. Okay? That's why I love the movies. That's why I'm passionate about movies. I love the movies because it brings people together. A room full of random strangers watching a movie, cheering, having a good time, coexisting with the way the world is. That's why I love cinema. I love movies. I love the movie-going experience. But when you throw your political beliefs in a movie, or you get politically preachy in a movie, I hate that. Everybody has their political views. We don't all agree. Keep that, please, out of the movies. That's real world stuff. We don't need real world stuff in our movies. If I want real world, I'll watch a documentary. Okay? But that was the main thing about this movie I did not like, was it was politically preachy. It wasn't super bad, but like I said, it was, you could tell James Gunn was kind of throwing his political beliefs in there. And it is what it is. I'm not here to argue about politics with you guys. I'm just telling you what I saw. I'm telling you how I felt. I'm telling you how I feel about politics. I think it's counteractive when something that's made for people to come together is tarnished by a political view in a movie. Keep your political views to yourself. Then that's all I got to say. But other than that, this movie was awesome. It was action-packed. It was funny. It had heart. I really liked the guy who played Superman. I know a lot of people were saying Henry Cavill is my Superman. Well, I don't have that connection to Superman like others do. So I like this guy as Superman. I thought he did a bang-up job, you know. I liked Cat Jiggletits or whatever her name was in the movie. Like, all she was there for was sex appeal. Like, really. She didn't really add much to the story. She didn't take away from the story. She was just there to jiggle around a little bit. It is what it is, you know. The dude, the guy who's like the ladies' man, the goofy looking guy who has all the hot chicks like drooling all over him, he was all right. But all in all, the movie wasn't bad. It had its ups, it had its downs. If your boy's gonna give this a score, which I'm gonna give it a score, I'm gonna give it 8.5 out of 10. Great movie. It just, certain things kept it from being a 10 for me. Like I said, the preachy, political preachiness stuff, you know, like basically in the movie there was a war going on between two nations, you know, kind of sound familiar, right? That we're trying to, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. It was in there. I didn't really care for that story arc too much. Didn't need to be there. Superman has had many stories. You know, you didn't need to put political crap, innuendo in it. So, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get into politics with you guys. I'm just telling you how I felt. And the movie was great, though. I love the movie. 8.5 out of 10. I recommend that you go see it. And like I said, for me to give a movie like this an 8.5 out of 10, not being a Superman fan is a big deal. So check it out. I recommend it. I might go see it again. I liked it that much. I enjoyed it. I took my grandson to see it, and we had a great time. So, all right, guys. Well, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of whatever this series is called on the brand new Media and More channel. So I'm going to shoot to have a video out every Sunday, whether it be a review, whether it be an unboxing, whether it be a spooky story or a reading. You know, it's going to be something, but I'm going to try to have at least a video out once a week. With my work schedule coming up and stuff, that's what I'm going to shoot for. I don't want to say I'm going to put more out there because I don't know if I can right now. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm excited to where this channel is going to go. It's just going to be great. So welcome to Media and More. It's great to have you. Your one-stop shop for everything media with your boy Media Fiend. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button along with them bell notifications and that like button. That way, every time your boy Media Fiend throws up a brand new video, you're in the know. Also, I'm going to leave in the link below, or in the description below, a link to Media Fiend Gaming. Go over there and check that out. I try to go live every Friday and Saturday, but I also during the week go live too. So Fridays and Saturdays are the main days, and I try to throw in a little extra day here or there throughout the week. So look out for that. But all right, guys, with all that being said, I took up enough of your time. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Have a great Sunday. And until we meet again, as always, this is your boy Media Fiend saying, until next time, be chill, and we out. Peace.